Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
This week, people all over the country are standing in really long lines at airports because the people in charge of making sure they are who they say they are coming to work. Now, I'm not a smart man, but why don't we just declare that getting on an airplane is like voting in a big city? You don't need an ID to do that. And you can bring all the big bottles of liquids, lotions, and gels you want. Problem solved. You're welcome, America. This is Dave and Juan.
And 3.
Number 2.
1.
Woohoo!
America, you know it. We are back. And you are.
You're welcome.
100%. You're so welcome. Gee, Dave, what are they welcome for? Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Thank you. If Juan is sounding a bit more authoritative, I don't even think that's a word. Authoritative.
Authoritative
is that's a Cajun version of that, but that's because he's right off of work. He's just right.
That's right, bro. I was in management training all day.
They're still training you?
All I know. My boss walked in there at some point, and they were talking about HR policies, and it was said no offensive jokes. And my boss asked somebody from HR if they noticed if I was taking any notes.
Huh. Dude, I can't even, but I will tell you this. I think I said this before when you started this job. Has it been a year yet? How?
It'll be a year in May, so close to it.
Okay, coming up on a year in May that Juan joined the
change jobs and industries.
Financial services industry at his extreme late stage in life. Okay.
Extreme.
No, dude, that's motivating to me. I joke with people all the time. I'm just a couple years behind you. I mean, or 3 or 5. I don't know. I forget how. But anyway, yeah. And I was kidding you about being at work. I was really at work all day too. I just was in this room. I was, they don't make me have to get, some days get dressed up to go anywhere. But no, man, I daydream about that sometimes, thinking, there might be a good gig just to just go do something else. Just
be a W-2 employee for a while.
Just go punch a clock. I'm coming up on 10 years of my own thing, and hey, knock wood, thank Lord. I mean, it's been a good run. It's still a good run. But you know how that is. You have some days where it's like, oh man, this is awesome. I don't answer to anybody. I just do what I want to do. Those are rare days. Because every other day is just a soul-sucking try to grow your business.
Yeah, look, it's, again, like I said, the ideal job for me would be, managing an aisle at Lowe's.
You ain't lying, right?
Just know a little bit of stuff.
I admire where you are. Like, so the deal is, you've been around enough not to let a lot of the silly stuff bother you.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool. I think some people like having employees of an age and of an experience set that, you're probably not going to do something really stupid. They got some really stupid mistakes you make young, not because you're a dumb person, just because you're more, I guess, naive about how some things
you
are.
Just don't know.
Or a little bit too emotional. Right.
Well, and so I work with a lot of young people in my department, and I go back to my Raising Cane's days when they freak out about the littlest things. I said, let me tell you a little. We used to say at the chicken factory over there. It's just chicken.
It's just chicken.
Ain't nobody dying. Nobody's even bleeding.
It's just chicken. And Todd became the richest man in Louisiana.
That's right.
Just chicken.
Just chicken.
Just chicken.
But the point is, that's some of the, it's both, I guess it's fun and funny to watch, the stuff that they freak out about. Or it's like, I don't want to get in trouble. And I tell them, I say, you know what? Watch. If I make a mistake, first thing I'll say is, I screwed that up.
it takes a little bit, you know.
Oh no, it's got to. Yeah, it's that level of confidence that says, "Yeah, they fire me, whatever."
And that's exactly it. That's some of the advice I give to folks that'll take advice. But things are different now, and I will. A lot of things aren't. A lot of things are the same. Some things are different. And I have said this, and we have kids about the same age. You got one even younger that's coming up. The system has been screwed up for these folks. It used to be that you could.
Boy.
It used to be that you could just get a decent job. Just a decent job. Work hard, put in your 40 hours, maybe if you do a little overtime, but you just, and you could rent a place to live. You can make a car note. You could, right? And they've just made it. And when I say they, I mean our government. I got a list of stuff I just want to tear into. I got so much disgust running through me right now with everything. But anyway, so I feel for the younger folks. I understand the stress. I understand why some of them, want to tap out. Just like, why even, it feels like why even bother? But, just relax. My advice to folks is try to get to a point where there's a comfort level where the first level is, okay, I can't quit working, but I can quit working here.
Yeah.
Right. That was my first. I can remember. I forget my age, but I got to a point where, okay, if I walk out of this place today, I'm not going to lose anything for at least a little while, right? They always say, try to get that 3-month cushion, try to get that, whatever cushion. And later in life, you try to get to where, well, the ultimate goal is, you just walk away, right? I mean, it's harder and harder to do. But that was my first time. I was like, and then, I tell you what, I probably became a better employee. I know I became more productive and a little creative because I stopped worrying about, why, and that's every organization. You're sitting there.
Like I said, I'm to the point. I'll take the blame for the mistakes that people who report to me make. Like, I don't care.
Put it on me. I don't care. Exactly. Yeah. Well, what? I'm gonna get a bad review. Don't care.
Yeah.
I used to work for a dude.
And it's not that I don't care about the job. I'm just not scared of losing it.
Right. I had a boss. He's out there somewhere. I don't even know if Dave Hunter even listens to this podcast or not. But I'm giving his real name. Awesome guy. I worked for him for a few years. Back when I was working for a pretty big company, headquartered in Memphis, and I was there, and I was an EVP. He was the CEO. He treated me right. He was one of these guys. If you're lucky enough in your career, you run into a guy who they got nothing to prove to nobody, right? And if we kind of clicked, he saw who I was. He saw he understood. All right, he tell me, Martin, you can be a handful. He called me out when I'm being a prima donna,
right.
But good, good dude. And while I'm talking about Dave, I'm trying to think what was the point I was going to make about what Dave told me. I always do that, man. I get that from my dad. I'll start telling a story, and I think it's important.
You did a great setup of the story.
To tell you a little bit about that guy. What did Dave do? It was it'll come to me.
We were talking about, being confident to take mistakes or not sweating it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. You were listening. Thank you. But we'd have to do these annual reviews.
Because I was talking.
That's right. We had to do these annual reviews. And the big corporation that our company was part of, I mean, these guys when I say this, many of them were fine, but some of the policies were just bjork. It was the dumbest thing in the world. And they would tell you, you couldn't give everybody fantastic reviews.
Yeah.
They would limit, you can't do it. And I used to tell Dave, bro, you can shred me on the review. I don't care. I don't want your job. I don't think I want to work anywhere in the big company. My review is, do you pay me every 2 weeks? Right. And, sometimes we come up for annual.
Yeah.
Now you can give me, here's what's funny. You can give me a crap review, but I still better get a little bit of a pay bump.
Right. That's the whole thing. Yeah. I don't care about none of that.
We were all incentive based. We got bonuses based on production, and if the company did well. So it's sort of like, I don't.
I had a job once, and the evaluation process was always, and it's always that awkward thing when you have to do the self-evaluation, and then you go in there. And I had a boss, and she would sit down and say, "Okay, how'd you score yourself on this?" And
how'd you score yourself?
I got above average. Oh, wow, really? And so then I got to where I said, I don't need this freaking embarrassment. I scored myself, meet standards or needs improvement on everything because I said I'd rather just sit here and seem like I have zero confidence in myself
And let you
than
tell me I'm
feel
better at
stupid.
something than
Right,
you.
right. Feels a whole lot better. And they said, "Oh, you just need more confidence." And I said,
Yeah.
"Oh God, you don't know me at all, do you?"
Well, I did my review, and I instead of just scoring it individually, I just ranked human beings to see where I stand, and it looks like I'm number 2 behind Jesus. Uh, and I'm not talking about Jesus that's doing the accounting. I'm not
The
talking
one
about
guy.
Jesus in accounting. I'm talking about, yeah. So I hold Jesus. Jesus is number 1,
Yeah.
and I'm a distant number 2, but I'm number 2 in this
Still number two.
organization. I'm not saying I'm in his league. I'm not
Yeah.
saying I can
But
even.
I'm at least ahead of you and
I'm
all the
ahead
other
of
yawns
everybody in
in
this
here.
damn building. I tell you that right now. Oh
I
man.
had one time that scored themselves all perfect in everything. And all I could do is say, well, and I saw what they had scored before I did it. And so I started off, I lied. I said, I just want to tell you, I don't read yours, your personal evaluation before I do yours because I don't want to be influenced.
I
And
like how you
second thing is I don't give a lot of fives.
I like how you said I started off right. I lied. I just lied. Yeah, man, I didn't. I'm gonna tell you I didn't do something I sure as hell just did.
Yeah.
Because man,
I did. He read it and said, wow.
how delusional are you? Like we're getting ready to put you on a
Yeah.
performance
Like
review.
you're just this side of being on a program.
Oh man, what do we call those things? Not pips.
Performance improvement plan.
There you go, a pip.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
We were driving, so we went to Louisiana last week for a few days, and I had my wife and my sister-in-law rode with us to Louisiana, and they're both teach. Well, my wife's a teacher, my sister-in-law is an assistant principal. She's been a teacher forever, but she's
Yeah,
an
they work in
assistant.
school system.
And yeah, they're talking about various things, and dude, the acronyms are like, I think I'm saying that right? Right? The acronyms,
Yeah, the things that, you go
you just use the letters.
STEM is an acronym for science, technology,
Isn't
engineering,
it funny how there's
mathematics.
some words I read them and I know what they mean, and then I know what they mean, and I say them, and when they come out my mouth, I'm like, does that mean what I think it meant? Because in person, you can just use. I found this out. In person, you can just use the totally wrong word,
Right,
but
you can
if
make them up and nobody's gonna know.
you do it with inflection, and like you meant that, there you go. So we'll come back. It's fun talking about this stuff. I have to be in. I shouldn't say I have to be. I get the privilege of being in Starkville, Mississippi, in 2 weeks.
Stark Vegas, baby.
Was that
They call it Stark Vegas.
Stark Vegas? I've never heard that, but I will
Yeah,
use.
that's everybody who goes because, like, I don't know, when LSU plays Mississippi State football, so they say Stark Vegas, and I think it's an insult because there's really nothing there.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna. Then I won't not bring that up. But great group. I'm going to speak to, and it's what's funny is, and I guess it must be a pretty decent big event. This is I shouldn't say this because I treat everything the same. And if you tell me I'm going to be speaking to 1,000 people,
Right.
you tell me I'm speaking to 50 people, it's the same. It's a different deal, but I'm preparing the same
Right.
mentally,
You're given 1,000% no matter what.
bruh. But what did I say? I'm a distant second, but I'm not Jesus, and I'm a way. I mean,
Yeah.
like it's a Grand Canyon chasm between number 1 and number 2, but I'm still ahead of them. But yeah, when I start getting all of a sudden like the sound company or like I guess it must be a bigger enough event that they're using an outside company and the guys checking with all my needs, and I gotta get more. I'm trying to be low maintenance. I'm just like, bruh, you got a projector? That's all I need. Just give me something to plug into. No, there will be no sound in I do not use videos. I don't use any.
Only sounds coming from the stage.
That's right. That's what I tell people. I said, you got any sound in this thing? And only the stupidity that comes out of my mouth.
If I had sound in the presentation, why would they need me?
That's right. That's right. I'm here to make the sounds. These are sounds that you will be hearing. But anyway, my point was I got to go to Starksville. I still have not bought a plane ticket. I think I've decided I'm not flying. I'm going to drive.
I was gonna say, is there?
Oh,
Are you
I
gonna
could,
drive
yeah.
from there?
I'm gonna probably drive, to Louisiana, maybe spend the night, then drive. I got to break it up into like 6 hour drives. I think it's about a 6 hour drive from
Yeah, I think so.
from
It's
Tibbetts.
just the challenge with it is once you get off the interstate, like you're gonna go through some highways and stuff. I mean, granted, I hadn't been to Starkville in forever. So
Well,
I
the
don't know.
reason I'm doing that is because the damn TSA.
Oh yeah,
I mean, look. So
right. That's true. The time you spend in TSA line, um, is what you'd spend on the road.
and those of you that have been watching it, I mean, we talked about it last week or maybe the week before, and it's just getting worse because these TSA people are not being paid. And now I'm at a point I normally have zero. I have no feels for the TSA because most of the
Right. No
interactions with
sympathy
them are not pleasant. But I don't blame them. I think they're going on 2 months now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be working. Look, yeah, forget it. I don't
Well,
care
it's not only
how
it's
long I
not
could
only that.
afford to not get paid.
Correct. They're going to
I
get
ain't working
now.
for
They
free.
will get back pay. So whenever it gets funded, they
Right.
will get back pay. But listen, there aren't a lot of people in America who can go 2 months without,
Yeah.
And what's annoying is that we're all being used. This is all meant by the absolute criminals we have in Congress. This is meant to inflict pain. This is
100%.
these are two sides that are trying to get the other side to blink.
Yeah, who's gonna say uncle first, basically?
But I'm not giving everybody a pass because people can paint this as Democrat against Republican. And listen, in this one, I'm going to say it's about 85% Democrats keeping the government closed, and they call it what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They are willing to die on the hill that will not. That they want illegals to vote. Let me just say that.
Die on a hill that's you want to talk percentages. Yeah, die on a hill that 80% of Americans are against.
And when I say illegals, people can all scream about what you call it. I'm just saying people that are illegal to vote, like by our law, by the
Right.
letter of the law, only U.S. citizens in good standing. Meaning, I think in a lot of places, I think if you're a felon, you can't vote. I mean, I think they may have given back some.
Yeah,
I don't know if they turned that over or not.
I mean, I don't know what the federal law because they've got different election rules for.
But by law,
and federal.
a legal citizen in good standing, however that's defined, gets one vote. Okay, that's how it works, y'all. And they have found ways to cheat, and they've been cheating, and they flood the polls.
You just get people, you stick people on voter rolls. We talked about this a while back, which I forgot which state it was, but basically, you could vouch for up to 4 people on the spot and say, hey, yeah, they're good. I'm gonna register them.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And y'all, even a supermajority of people that identify as Democrat and probably will vote straight up the line, like a supermajority, like above 60 something, 70% of Democrat. Now, Republicans, it's like 85%, 90% or better. Independents are about 80%. But even people who flat out said they voted for Biden, they voted for Harris, they're a straight down the line blue voter. A supermajority of them say, we don't want people that shouldn't be voting. I mean, therefore, actually fair elections as well.
Yeah.
The only way you're going to do it, because you can't leave it to the states anymore, because the states are a mess. And our bigger states end up being the biggest mess. Mm-hmm. So they're intentionally cheating. So, all right, how do we stop that? Well, we got to pass some federal laws, blah, blah, blah. And man, that's a hill and that's where it's stuck right now. There's no funding going on, and the Dems are saying we're not gonna.
Until whatever they call that act, they're not voting for the budget.
But let me be an equal here. A pox on the GOP too, because some of these cowards are hiding. the Senate is Republicans have control supposedly of the Senate. They have enough votes. They should be able to pass something that is
Right, pass whatever they want. Should be.
incredibly wanted and desired by the population. And they won't. And they keep pretending. They're all doing kabuki theater now. They're all playing because you got a handful, and maybe more than a handful. You probably got 10 to 15 quote unquote Republicans who want to cheat. They are flat out,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, they want to cheat, or what am I going to get for my vote type deal?
Look, it's like what they do in Nevada. I was hearing somebody talk about that today. And we've known it's going on forever. They know it goes on. Nobody stops it. The late votes. Like everywhere else in the world, y'all, countries count their votes. Most of them do them on paper because all this nonsense. Well, that's the other thing we know. Did you see this past week? It's basically, it's undeniable that in 2020, the CCP, the Chinese, got access to the voter rolls. I mean, they had it. They were able to. Yeah. You think they're our friends on that? You think and you can't do that when you use paper. You can't do that. But anyway,
Right.
I was saying what they do in Nevada. They quote unquote count the vote, and it's usually a Republican. They're always in the lead on election day. But hang on. We count mail-in votes.
Yeah, the late votes coming in from the favorable, or the counties favorable to Democrats.
And they keep coming in, and they keep coming in, and they keep coming in, usually until they get above the
right when they break the line, or right when they get ahead, that's it.
for the automatic. No, they typically bring it above because there's usually like an automatic recount at a certain level. So when
Right, that's what I'm saying. When they surpass
the automatic
they don't get
recount.
far beyond the safe level.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, miraculously, we needed 87% of those votes to go this way,
And it did.
and 87% went that way.
So that's happening. We know it's happening. People, I hope, are getting kind of fed up with it. But that's the whole thing. What's going on with TSA right now, y'all? They're trying to inflict pain, hoping somebody blinks. And one side wants to pull funding for ICE, and
Right.
that's already in. That's baked in.
Right, that's part of the big beautiful bill.
I want to say, didn't Elon Musk offer this week to pay TSA?
I saw that. I didn't,
Okay.
I didn't dig deep into it to see where it turned. But
By the way, every plane ticket sold has a TSA fee on it. It does. I mean, look, it is, but our government has taken that TSA fee that's supposed to be put aside for TSA, and they've burned that in the treasury. They're crooks.
throw it in a general fund.
They're crooks and criminals, and that's what they're doing, and they're inflicting pain on people purely to inflict pain. And it is. It's terrible. I feel for folks. I saw today. So congratulations, New Orleans. Shout out to New Orleans. We had the list of TSA call-outs yesterday. In other words, what percentage of the TSA workers called in and said, I ain't coming in today? Number one, New Orleans.
All right.
42.3%.
Nice. It was a
Dude,
pretty
almost-
day yesterday, man. If you had to call out,
Almost half of New Orleans, and right behind them at 41.5 was Atlanta.
nice.
Dude, Atlanta airport sucks on the best day. Like show me the smoothest run in Atlanta airport day, and it sucks. I can't even imagine what 4-hour waits. And hey, just to be fair, number 3, right behind, pretty much was right here, George Bush Intercontinental in
all
Houston.
right.
Oh yeah, it's a mess. And same thing with Hobby.
Wasn't it the last day of the rodeo or something?
And apparently, for some reason, nobody knows why, and I don't think it's every year, but this year, a lot of the country decided to come to Houston for spring break. Yo, Houston, we got no beaches. We got no water. You want to go floating down. I mean, they got stuff floating in the bayous in Houston and their bodies. No, literally, they pull a couple hundred bodies a year out of the bayou in Houston. Now, the rodeo's fun.
We had somebody, so we had a big work event last week, and my department and HR puts it on. It's, we close all of the branches for a day and come to this like a fun rah-rah day and everything. But we do it at a hotel, so those of us who are setting it up we stay at the hotel the night before. And we're in a hotel in downtown Baton Rouge. Nice, I mean, it's Hilton, nice, Riverside Hotel. And Oklahoma State's baseball team were staying there. They were playing LSU, and but I saw some of the players like in the lobby at night drinking beer and playing poker, and wow, that surprises me. But the day of our event, when we were done and loading out, these two Asian guys are walking down the sidewalk, and the big, OU bus was there. And they said, "Oh, what's this here?" And I said, "Oh, they're playing baseball here." And he said, "Oh, is this a stadium?" I said, "No, bro, it's a hotel." And he said, "We're OU students and we're on spring break." And I said, "Well, I got to ask you a question, man. Why are you on spring break in Baton Rouge?" And he said, "Oh, well, we came into New Orleans and we're stopping here on our way to Lafayette." I said, "So you just mentioned 3 cities in Louisiana, only one of which may be a decent destination for spring break, and that's the one you left, and you're heading to stopping off in the 2 that have no value to you."
Yeah. Well, well, I don't know what Baton Rouge. I mean, they're on the way. So they were just on the way. Lafayette in that area does a pretty good job, I guess, of kind of pulling people saying, "Hey, come see, come see the real, and I'm like, "Okay, I get it, but what am I going to see?" Like you drive into, and if you're driving into Lafayette, here's the other thing too. You got to get off of 90. Dude, if you just stay on 90 going through Lafayette, I mean, you're going through all the crack houses and the stretch I'm talking about, right? As you're coming up, gosh darn it, not far past the airport. If you drive past the Lafayette
Yeah, I know
airport,
exactly what you're talking about.
heading toward I-10. So that stretch right there, dude, if you get a flat, right on the rim. Right on.
If the wheel falls off, just go on the hook.
Just go on it, and if you absolutely have to, just grab, just run. But now other parts of
the
Lafayette.
point is, you were saying that a lot of people were in Houston, so that's a better option than Baton Rouge, I assure you.
Well, so I hope everybody is making. And can you imagine being stuck on spring break trying to get flights? And I heard it this morning. So one of the guys was talking about, I guess it was in Houston or wherever, and he was get on a flight, and they tell you to get there 4 hours early. Okay, now listen, that's a lot. Okay, but the guy said you show up, and even before you can get into TSA, the TSA line, you got to check your bags. Well, they will not let you check your bag until 4 hours before a flight. So if you get there, a little late, they said it's just ridiculous. You're standing there waiting.
So if you get there 4 hours early, there's a good chance you're going to be in the bag check line, which is a 2-hour line.
Or it changed. But yeah, but on a deeper level or a higher level, I don't know if we're going deep or high on this. This also shows you what a joke TSA is. And I don't say this meaning nothing personal to anybody who works at TSA, okay? But it's just another example of what our government did to take control of something it has no business being in control of. All right? It can influence it, safety, blah, blah, blah. But that's all they did. They just put a massive government layer basically choke pointing the airports. Yeah. And this is what we end up with. You could run TSA. I'm not one of these people.
If nothing else, it should show anybody that just how inefficient anything run by the government is.
It is. Well, look, you know it, and I know it, man. Again, as much as I fly, the ratio of people at TSA standing there, as opposed to the people that are supposedly helping you, is pretty high. It's at least 2 to 1 sometimes.
Yeah, it's like the highway department. Yeah, 5 guys standing up while one fixes a pothole.
right? And then you run into everything. You run into those that are they're on a power trip. They're just going to get off today by just being rude to people. You got others that won't lift. Here's what aggravates me is you have to go through, and boy, they spent some money on some of these machines. Oh, you got to put your bag in a tray, and the machine goes around, and they've just been spending millions of dollars on nonsense machinery, right? And the trays come out, and then it should not be my job to have to pick up the damn tray.
Yeah.
You know, we're all trying to put
The
our
back stack of shit
putting
there.
our belts back on. We're trying to get whatever. We're like heavy. You get your bag gets to that point where it's like, okay, it's either going to come straight and come to you, or it's going to get side to the
Right.
side, and then somebody's got to go digging your stuff. So we're all stacked up there, and I'm looking at TSA people just standing there as the
Yeah,
trays.
that's the most inefficient. Yeah, and the more technology they add,
Yep.
the more inefficient it becomes.
So that's my thing, and I mean we're on a roll here. That my other thing is how many pictures do you have to take of me to let me get on the damn plane, bro? I'm not lying. It's a lot of times 3. I go to clear picture, go whatever the picture, go to whatever, 3 times. Like a lot of times when I'm traveling out of Houston, they take 3 pictures of me to get. You don't even need your ticket anymore. It's really like it's there. You're on the thing, and which to me goes to show, all right, all right, you're age of AI. You could probably employ maybe 10 to 20% of the TSA you have right now with AI and stuff, and like I said, it's all kabuki. It's all but that's what they're doing. So if anybody's listening to the podcast while stuck in an airport, sorry.
There you go.
You may be listening to it while I drive 12 hours to Starkville, Mississippi. And you know, it's the only thing, the worst thing than driving 12 hours to Starkville?
Drive 12 hours back.
So I'm gonna have 24 hours invested in driving.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I can't trust,
Yeah.
can't trust the airport, can't trust that you're gonna get there. And hell, if you're in LaGuardia, even when you land, you can't trust you're gonna get to the gate. You saw that? Air Canada.
Is that where the
LaGuardia Air Canada flight lands last night?
hits a fire truck?
Like a regional jet. It's Air. I forget. It's I think it's Air Canada, and it's whatever the sub that flies it. And yeah, the plane lands, and freaking whether it was I don't know
Whose fault was it? The pilot's fault, or was the fire truck just there?
No, it's the fire truck, and it's security. It's got to be air traffic. Pilot can't stop. Pilot landed.
Right.
It wasn't like the pilot didn't hit this
It's
truck.
not like he could whip around.
It's not like he bumped it while he was on his way to the gate. He landed. You're coming in at 100 something miles an hour. You put that thing on the.
Yeah, I saw the collision, or I saw the photos of the aftermath. Yeah, it was.
And it's got to be the most bizarre thing ever. I wonder in the history of aviation, or at least in the history of a big plane like a jet. I'm not talking about like a Piper Cub or something.
Yeah.
That the pilots were killed. I don't think anybody else was killed. Now there were some injuries,
but it looked like the fire. It almost looked like the fire truck was nose up into the cockpit.
I don't know. Well, I mean,
and again, I could be seeing it totally wrong.
Both pilots were killed, and apparently a stewardess who was strapped into her seat on landing was thrown from the plane, but survived.
Out of the plane?
I think her seat was thrown out the plane. She was strapped to a seat.
I guess the door must have snapped.
It broke.
Open.
Oh yeah. The front of the plane just basically disintegrated.
And how?
Which makes you wonder how can they fly? If a plane disintegrates hitting a fire truck, how's it hit the World Trade Center and go straight through? Help me out, Juan. How does that work?
All right, just staying on topic.
It is my topic. That's always my topic.
Yeah, I know. So from a height perspective, would I guess the bottom of the fuselage, or is a fire truck as high as the nose of the plane?
Fire truck is probably kind of high, but this was also a regional jet. It wasn't like a 757.
Yeah, so it's kind of smaller jet. Okay.
So it didn't shave the bottom. It probably took a. There's video out there of it. Yeah. You can see it. It's not super close, but you can see it. So just something else to think about, right? Wheels down, you land. You think, "Whoo, he made it." Hope LaGuardia didn't send a truck out on the runway.
Yeah, Lord. So, well, bit of sad news from last week. Chuck Norris passed away.
Did he?
He did. Well,
yeah, well, you're right. I I saw it was a meme that had a Chuck Norris and a headstone that had whatever year he was born, and instead the date was when he decided or something like like when he decided it was time. But yeah, Chuck Norris was
80 something.
86,
Yeah,
86,
mid
87.
80s for sure. So I
Um,
can remember, back in the 70s and 80s when he had those stretch jeans.
People forget. Okay, he did Walker Texas Ranger later in life.
Right.
And then
But he did like movies with Bruce Lee and everything.
well, he trained Bruce Lee. He also
Okay.
trained Steve McQueen. He was a world champion. And here's the deal. Go back, do yourself a favor, y'all. Go back and find some video of Chuck Norris back in the day in his fighting days. All jokes aside, that was a that
Dude was
was
bad.
he was a bad man. And everybody there said that he trained Bruce Lee. They said if and he fought for the movie, and they said still one of the best fight scenes. It's like a 7-minute fight scene in it might be Enter the Dragon. I forget which movie it is that Bruce Lee asked Chuck Norris to do the fight because he trained with Norris. And Chuck Norris said, "Do I have to lose?" And Bruce Lee was like, "Well, yeah, it's my movie. You have to lose." But they did about a 7-minute fight scene that people still say is one of the best fight scenes ever. But others say in real life, if it was ever a square off, 10 out of 10. Chuck Stroop would wipe the mat with Bruce Lee. He was that bad a dude. So rest in peace.
I talked to his wife one time. This
Did
is
Chuck know that?
well, it was on the phone, not in person. Um, and it was in the early days, I guess, of him merchandising stuff online. Uh, it was when I was with Raising Cane's, and we used to have the Kramer from Seinfeld poster in every restaurant.
Okay.
And then he went off the rails, and did some,
Oh yeah.
racially offensive stuff.
Some of his
So we had
some of his crowd work left a little to be
yeah. So we
desired.
had to hurry up and pull the poster and replace it with something. And I found some off the wall Chuck Norris poster. And again, this was pre-meme days, but so it's kind of like, that type of, when those type of jokes about Chuck Norris. And they became really popular from the use and Kane standpoint. So we literally started putting them in every restaurant, and then we'd order maybe 25 or 30 at a time. Like I said, early days of online shopping for this stuff.
Did you have to
So
pay any kind of royalty to Chuck Norris?
nah, not then. When he ended up, he was buddies with Todd now.
Okay.
But so the wife called and said, I'm just curious as to why y'all are buying, because they didn't know who Keynes was at that
Right,
point.
right.
Why are y'all buying so many of these posters? And I said, is this Mrs. Norris? She said, yeah. And so there you go. 2 degrees of separation.
There you
Me and
go,
Chuck.
man. You got it. Well, I'm not, I spoke to somebody who was his good friend. Mattress Mac here in Houston is
Yeah, that dude probably knows everybody. Huh?
that was his man. Yeah, the same thing with Todd, right? Dude, you get to a certain level, yeah, you know everybody. I mean, Mattress Mac, you know the guy I'm talking about, right? Mac.
Yeah.
He owns Gallery Furniture here, and he's a Houston. He's an icon. He's a legend. I mean, he's just that.
Yeah, he's the guy that, during storms and stuff, he lets people sleep in the store and stuff, huh?
Yeah. He's just an amazing.
Chuck Norris is from Texas, though, right? Or was?
I think so. I think he lived in Texas. I don't know if he's originally from, but no, Mattress did. He did a Mattress Mac did a back in the day. I think a promotion with Muhammad Ali, like a boxing
Nice.
thing with. Oh yeah. I mean, he's and I think he's also known now as like the biggest gambler in the country. He's the guy. He won the biggest sports bet in Vegas history.
Yeah, he throws down more than what's his name? Than Portnoy, huh?
Oh yeah. But they're probably there. I just because I know this is going to be old news soon, but so I'm trying to do this semi-respectfully, not so much. So somebody else passed away this past week. Guy by the name of Robert Mueller. All right.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Robert Mueller. Depending on what side you're on, I didn't. I'm not gonna speak ill of the dead. Just he was a controversial guy. He let's just say he can be credibly accused of not letting the truth get in the way of
A good prosecution.
prosecuting people, right? And so he passed away. So ex-president George Bush W, get me back to 9/11 here, says, Laura and I are deeply saddened by the loss of Robert Mueller. Bob dedicated his life to public service. As a Marine in Vietnam, he proved he was ready for tough assignments. Bush doesn't know this. He earned a Bronze Star and a Purple Heart before returning to pursue home to pursue law. That was President George Bush's response to Mueller passing. Our current president, Donald Trump's response: Robert Mueller just died. Good. I'm glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people. Signed, President Donald J. Trump.
He literally said good.
Good. First words out of Truth Social, bro. His first post. I mean, you people liberals are losing their mind. Really? Can you believe Robert Mueller died, period. Good. Those of you that can't see Juan's laughing. It's there. That's God's honest truth.
Trump with the Prime Minister of Japan.
You know what? Everybody saw that coming a mile away, and most people would not say it. So what Juan's talking about, he's sitting there with the Prime Minister of Japan, a lovely woman. She's very, very gracious, very so Japan's Prime Minister is a woman. And she was very, very
Japan's a good ally now. And
very fond of Trump. When they first met, instead of doing the bow, she ran over, gave him a hug, and they obviously, get along swimmingly because Japan's smart. Japan realizes
the alternative.
Japan realizes, hey, I want the 800-pound gorilla on my side. And now, so there are hack reporters everywhere, and some hack Japanese reporter, when they get a question, ask Trump, do you think you should have told your allies before bombing, Iran? Why didn't you tell your allies? And Trump was like, well, that's it's war. It's some things need to be a secret.
Yeah,
why didn't you tell us about Pearl Harbor?
yeah. It would have been great if y'all told us. We're talking to somebody who's great at keeping secrets.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, you guys know a little bit about keeping secrets. Could have told us about Pearl Harbor.
If they'd have told us.
See, most people would have just left it at, you guys have a history of being pretty good at keeping secrets too. But Trump wants to make sure nobody misses the point.
Just in case you wondered if I really meant this.
Yes, I did.
Go ahead and drive it home.
Yes, I did. Random bit of news that means nothing to anybody but me, but since I'm half of this podcast, I'm going to say it.
Hey.
My favorite place in Midtown Houston was a place called Holman's Draft House. It was where, my son does plays right there. It's just a favorite place. Great beer selection, great people. And then City of Houston, run by absolute morons and thieves, decided to do road work on the street, on Holman Street, right in front of Holman, and another place called Daily Sports Bar, and it was supposed to be shut that road down for, I think, a couple months, 3 months, which is a long time, right? They had that thing closed almost a year.
Lord.
And you could probably but you're saying it made it almost impossible to even access the places. So ran them both out of business. So
that's all. People don't think about that. You can't get there. You're not.
No, you won't. You're just going to go somewhere like, I'm not going to park a long way away. I don't care how much. It's just an annoyance. It's an annoyance. So, this group comes in, and this is the place that built Pickleball. They spent a fortune on putting, state-of-the-art stuff with a little stadium. They had some pickleball courts. They got rid of the parking lot, which made no sense to me. One of the biggest advantages that place had in Midtown, where parking is so difficult, was they had a nice parking lot for free parking. All things considered, you'd rather just go there because I can park and it's cool.
Right.
Well, they lost the parking lot to put pickleball, and they put some that had grass, some that had they must have put in 5-6 pickleballs, little rooms, all fancy. Whatever. It's closed.
Dude, whenever pickleball, look, play pickleball. I don't care. It's not for me.
Right.
But if ever at some point it's going to catch up.
No, it did. I buried the lead. It's closed now. I don't know, dude. I guarantee you, they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars fixing that place up and putting in those things. And last weekend we were there for a play, and I just wanted to walk over to see. And I'm like, how's it? Why is it not open on a Saturday? Or it might have been a Sunday. I mean, like, what? This doesn't make any sense. And a buddy of mine texted me today and said, yeah, man, New Orleans is closed, and that's why they were taking the stuff down. And it's one of those things where I like being right. I don't wish anything bad on anybody.
Right.
But dude, from the minute they broke ground and said they were going to do that, I'm like, well, what are they doing? I mean, you think the world is coming to play pickleball? You think that and are pickleball players really your audience? Like, you make money drinking.
Let me tell you something. There's
people drinking.
Yeah, like I said, that event we had the other day, we didn't necessarily like the venue we had that. In Baton Rouge, the capital city of Louisiana, if you have an event with more than 300 people in it, you're pretty much limited on your options. Very limited. We got enough pickleball courts in Baton Rouge that all 300 of those people could play pickleball at the same time.
Kind of blew up, huh?
Yeah. And my point is, when the trend's done, it'll never die.
Ping pong's still here.
Yeah.
How many ping pong clubs do you see?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, even tennis, and I'm a tennis. I enjoy. You don't see very many. Tennis is they're attached maybe to country clubs and stuff like that.
Right.
But whatever, man. Hey, Drew Brees was for it, so it must be good. Didn't he own some stuff? Didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got a lot. He's got pickleball clubs. I think he's got a pro pickleball league or something that he owns.
Whatever. Like I said, man, enjoy. It's one of those things. It's not a sport. It's a hobby. It's an activity. You can get hurt. Some dude died in a pickleball accident. You saw this this week. Some guy that knew Charlie Kirk.
They're playing on the top of a building. And
I don't know, man. This guy was like a quote unquote mentor to Charlie Kirk. I mean, big time. Like he was like, I forget the guy's name. In fact, he's a guy that made millions and millions and millions. He was one of the competitive cheer. He was one of the guys that started and owned competitive cheer.
Oh Lord, that's a money racket.
That's right. I remember you used to say that. Your daughter used to do that stuff. Well, this guy apparently took a spill last week playing pickleball, hit his head, died this week. That's technically dying from a pickleball injury. So watch yourself out there, everybody.
One of my daughter's teammates who she was on spring break with, one day it was raining or something in the afternoon, so they went to some trampoline park, and she did a backflip into the foam pit, and apparently there wasn't enough foam in the pit. Either ACL or MCL or something.
Gave me the frissons on that one.
Yeah.
This is a swimmer?
Yeah, and I'm surprised because they're not allowed to ride scooters on campus as part of their contract.
Okay.
And then we found out that they can't. Their contract also says that they can't run. I said, well, that's the contract I need in my life right there.
You don't gotta make me sign anything. I ain't running.
Right. So I don't know if they might have had a rough practice this morning for having to fess up that they went to a trampoline park.
Was she I always think about that stuff, man. I always, like, whenever my kids were younger and they'd go to these things.
Those things are dangerous.
Hell yeah, they're dangerous.
The hardest part, the easiest way to get hurt on a trampoline is jumping on a trampoline with other people.
Oh yeah, man, your bodies go flying. Oh no. It's nothing. And I still see people out there that have trampolines without the net around it. So it's a different level. It's a different level of danger.
Before we moved and my kids were young, we had a trampoline and a swimming pool in my backyard.
Oh, man.
And when the insurance adjusters would come around, I had to take the trampoline down.
Dang right you did.
And never said nothing about the pool.
Jeez, you had a yard of death right there, man.
Yeah.
Injury and death.
Off the trampoline into the pool.
Man, I was we're talking about. There's not much injuries, but athletics. I'm in the couple of things I got to gripe. I've got a lot of gripes. I don't know if it's YouTube TV or everybody does this, but the basketball tournament, the NCAA tournament's on, and everybody. I love men's basketball. Now they're also doing the women's basketball. And what YouTube and I'm pretty sure all of them do, they have, when you're scanning for the games, they go out of their way not to put whether it's a male or female game on. You notice that?
100%.
And then you get excited going, oh crap, man.
Yeah, I didn't know they were playing.
Yeah, and then you put on, oh man. So I know. Take that for what it's worth. It's false advertising, and they do it just to get, because that's no accident.
Yeah. Now I did watch LSU women yesterday, and I've talked about this before. How many shots the women missed, dude? LSU was popping everything.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. And
they beat the team by more than the team scored. It's like 48 to 105 or something.
Which is, so and don't get me wrong, because I think my one of my sisters, she loves Kim Mulkey. I know you do. I know a lot of people do.
I'll take it or leave it.
I'm not a fan. Yeah, she wears on me. She just she's like, to me, like the men's coach of Connecticut. Just a little bit too much of a chew. Stop it.
It's now I've been I'm not a basketball fan, but I watch it when it gets to this, and there've been some great games.
No, there have been, but here's the point I was going to make. I was at the gym, and it's Lifetime Fitness, big, huge locker room. And then right where near the locker I do, they have a sitting area with some sofas and a TV. Now, who wants to? I never figure out
in the locker room.
No, I'm not lying, man. And people do that. They come, they're sitting in the couches, and they
come on, naked guy.
Oh God, I know, man.
Pull up a spot on the couch.
Brand, you know what? It's just as bad as it's ever been, Juan. I'm telling you, and it's just it's all the old guys.
If you're fairly new to the podcast, Dave has issues with old naked men, walking around too long naked and too freely naked in the locker room at his gym.
I gotta drop my membership whenever I find the need. Dude, I mean, look, yes, if you could changing, there will be a time where you are going to be partially naked. But look, I do it. Like, I'll keep my shirt on while I'm changing into like a bathing suit to go into the sauna or do whatever I'm going to.
Right.
I mean, like,
change discreetly.
Discreetly. You face a certain way. You don't stop and talk to nobody. You sure as hell you don't sit down.
If you're putting on a bathing suit, you bend down to take off whatever you're wearing, and as you you stand up, you pull the pants on.
You don't sit down or stand there too like the day you came into the world,
stretching your back and
it's
swinging
all.
your hips.
I'm telling you, man, and this is not. And yeah, because it puts the work on me not to look. I'm like, oh yeah, it's like, oh. Dude, I don't. But and this is no exaggeration, but it's an invert thing. The guys that are in there, young or old, that are in shape, none of them do that. None of them. Like the athletes, man, no, you don't have a bunch of jocks walking around naked. But man, let me tell you something. That old canasta crowd. But anyway, I'm in the gym. I'm getting dressed, and I'm close enough to the TV to hear the game. They had some collegiate women's game on. Okay. So all I can hear is the commentary. Dude, it became comical. I almost wanted to like see if I can come home and find it to record it, because all I can hear is the announcer, who is getting excited every time a shot goes up. Johnson for three, rimmed out. Dude, it probably went 2-3 minutes. I know I heard this guy get excited and say, off the board. Oh, clean that one up. Eight misses in a row. And I lost. And then I think somebody finally got a rebound and put one in, going back and forth. But it was just sort of like, even the announcers got to get to the point of, man, I'm going to yell when they make something. All right. I'm just going to sit here. All right. The team in the blue jerseys has it now. Okay. They missed. All right. Here you go. Coming back. Yep. Nothing missed. No. If you get excited when they make something. They're always like, for three. No.
Yeah.
No. Me and my sons call it masonry conferences. Bricks. That's all it's bricks.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You want to watch You want to watch a masonry conference? Here we go.
It's Did you see Florida's got a dude that's like 7'8",
7'9",
yeah.
7'9". Yeah.
He's a big awkward white boy.
Yeah. Now San Antonio's got a professional, Wembanyama, who's 7'7", and that guy is amazing. That dude is Spider-Man. I mean, he's only 2 inches shorter, and he might be still growing, But
Yeah.
that guy is a freak. See, I don't know if you watch any NBA basketball.
Nah, not an NBA
Yeah,
fan.
dude, he's the guy. He is. It's weird. Because think about this: you can grab when you can grab the rim without jumping.
Right. You can just dunk the ball, just stand
Oh
there.
yeah. But it's not just that. I mean, he's like basically unstoppable if he gets the. But man, he blocks everything. I mean, he comes out of nowhere. Like even NBA players, these are the best players in the free. These are people that are getting paid 30, 40, 50 million dollars a year to play a game, and they're getting punked half the time because they didn't think this guy could get to a ball. So it's yeah, 7. But that 7'9" guy, he gets in the way. He's
Yeah.
your job is to
I saw
stand
that
here.
picture of him with like a dude that was like 6'8" and looked like a child next to him.
I saw him next to Shaq. He's got a full
Yeah,
he's got
right. He's got like 8 inches on Shaq.
got a full head on Shaq. And my last thing here. So while we were maybe a couple things. I went to the Nicholls Book Store last week. My wife
Wow,
went,
is it still in the same place?
same place. It looks smaller than it used to be. And
But they don't sell books hardly anymore.
no books. It's just, you can get t-shirts and whatever, all overpriced. Let me tell you
Right,
the same
it's all
thing.
like a souvenir shop, man.
It's all and I've been to some universities that have some really impressive bookstores. I guess Nicholls doesn't sell a lot of gear. But
Impressive from the sale of books or just
no,
merch?
just merch. Just sweatshirts, shirts,
Yeah,
but
Houston has a lot of stuff.
correct. Yeah, you still got it, but Nicholls not so much. But what I was a little bit upset about, so my wife and I walk in. In fact, we take the golf cart. We parked the golf cart outside because we were staying, we're there in Thibodeau.
Yeah.
And walk in, they got not one, not two, 3 young ladies working the counter. They got one dude in there who's apparently a customer that I guess they want to flirt with. I mean, he was talking. They were like, me and my wife were the only 2 people in this bookstore. We were in there for about 10 minutes, walking around, looking at stuff, talking, obviously looking for stuff. Dude, do you think
they're to spend money.
you think one of those girls, even acknowledged us? Then it became like a game to me. It's like, how long can we be in here?
Stand up near them and look around. Like
Clearly looking for stuff, holding things up. Not a word. So Nicholls, you're my alma mater, and all that. Yeah, hospitality class, if you're given one, sucks. And my wife like defends it. She goes, they're college students. You think they care? I'm like, yeah, but I can make them care. Somebody, because I'm not asking you to come do any heavy lifting. How about when we walk?
Yeah, hey, can I help you?
How about when we walk in and we are literally the only 2 people in the room?
Yeah, you'd have probably been accepting of a yelling across the room.
Yeah, one of you just said, hey, how you doing? Let us know if we can help you. And that'd have been good. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is plant that seed. I said, if you need anything.
You're an adult in the room. What are you doing here, man?
Let me know. Did not let me. So sorry, Nicholls. Try to be better. Be better.
I was in Thibodeau Monday for like a minute.
That's a quick minute, man. What you doing in Thibodeau?
And literally, we had something that we had to get Monday we have a branch in Homa.
Okay.
And I don't know why we had to get it on Monday, but I got somebody from the branch to drive to Thibodeau, and I said, all right, I told him, I said, I know if somebody in my department had to go, and I said, I'll be the quickest because I know where I'm going.
Because I know where I'm going.
Yeah. So.
Well, there you go.
But if I knew you were driving in Monday, but that was, I was there about 1. I said, man, if Dave was here, I'd go pop in at his mom's house.
Dude, driving back we drove back on the Thursday. This is the first time I had this. I'm somewhere just crossing the state line, maybe Louisiana to Texas, maybe a little before. And I get an alert on my Google Maps. Never had this one before. I-10 closed. And I thought, no, it's got to be a mistake. Because I'm looking. And so me, my wife, and my sister-in-law, we're all on different apps trying to figure out what's going on. Mine's going, but it's still going to tell me to get off, but it's not right away. One of us wants us to get off. Dude, I-10 both directions. An 18-wheeler jumped the median.
Oh, wow.
And apparently with a tank. I don't know what the tank was in the tank. Jumped the median and hit some cars. So we ended up, it added about 45 minutes. I forget where we went. And here's the news. Even if there's a clear, like, okay, get off on this road, go in the country road. I saw parts of Texas never seen before. Lovely. I'd like to buy some land there, just beautiful fields. But when I-10, that's meant to carry millions of cars a day, gets dumped onto country roads, bruh.
Yeah, the country roads can't handle that capacity.
I was getting me some freaking Hurricane Rita flashbacks of being stuck in. And then there's a couple times where like I made an illegal turn on one country road and just headed back, and I started making stuff up because I said I know I'm going a lot longer, but I just feel better when we're moving.
When I'm moving, dude, I'd much rather.
I'd rather go 50 miles an hour in the wrong direction than
Yeah, I'm exactly like that. I just soon move than if it's going 30 minutes of sitting still versus 60 minutes of driving, I'm probably taking 60 minutes of driving.
That's right. That's why, and that's also why you always, y'all, when you can, when you do it, tank up. Don't. If you got to stop to pee, fill up the car too. Just never, because I thought about that too. How many people are stuck in? And I guarantee you, some people were stuck for hours.
Yeah, and then you run out of gas sitting there and screw up everybody else even more.
Yeah. So, hopes and prayer. I hope nobody was, like I said, that was the first time I've been driving where at I-10 in both directions.
In both directions, that's the whole thing. Now, I guess,
because the truck,
maybe they were worried it could explode.
I guess so. And the truck was basically blocking most of eastbound, but it had crossed the median and hit something that was going eastbound. Oh yeah. And it had been there well over an hour by the time we saw it. Yeah. It was so, and you saw a truck went off the Lake Charles Bridge the other day?
Yes.
Come on, y'all.
It must have cleared it because my daughter was driving home yesterday morning.
I used to get shocked whenever that would happen because I was always taught to believe that the best drivers out there were driving those big rigs. And then we find out, hell, you don't even have to speak English or have a legal driver's license to be driving these things. I think about that all the time now when I'm passing on all the road construction between Louisiana and Texas, and it squeezes into two tight lanes with no shoulder. And you're about 2 feet from the wheels of an 18-wheeler. Man, I'm looking up saying, please let me ring it.
Yeah, and see what scares me about that is you pass and you want to look to see how close you are, but then it's like I cannot not stare directly ahead because if I move an inch, I'm hitting something.
And my wife's not breathing while I do that. I get the yeah. All right, man. You know what? I think the buffet is before us, guys.
Bro, it was, late production, great show.
Laid it out. I know this will be as close to as live as it gets. It may drop the normal 7 o'clock, but whenever you get it is when you get it, y'all.
That's when you get it.
Push the button, get on out of here. See if any of this stuff's stuck to the magic tape. Jeez, we'll pull that out in editing. See if any of this stuff stuck to the magic tape up in the sky. If you want to reach us, we're not hard to find. It's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com and
right here, wherever you are. And we never plug the YouTube channel. So, because most people listen to us versus watching us. Yeah. But if you're listening just to the audio, you're missing a lot. Go check it out.
Go check out the YouTube. Yeah, I know the numbers on YouTube drop. Like it used to be, we'd get YouTubes of 1,000, over 1,000. I think the other day it was 12. Wait.
Yeah, it's all on pod. That's all.
Everybody's on Spotify and everything else now, and it's getting weird now. I was talking to a friend yesterday, just randomly was telling something. He went, "Yeah, I heard it on the podcast." I went, "Ooh, that's scary." You just kind of forget. It's like, oh yeah, I didn't think you were listening to that stuff. But so anyway, we tell you every week it's not a hint, suggestion, or just a subtle implication. Y'all, it is a freaking mandate.
It's a freaking mandate, dude.
Go live your best life. Go live your best life. They got people stuck in TSA lines right now. Are they living their best life?
They probably been there for 3 hours, got another couple hours to go.
There you go. Yes, they are, because they got somewhere to go. Even if they miss their plane, right? It's annoying. It's annoying, but at least your plane takes off and lands. Oh, okay,
Okay, as my pastor says, it's a great day to have a great day.
I love you, Pastor, man. It's a great day to have a great day, as opposed to my pontiff, the Pope, came out this week and said he called for a ban on aerial military strikes. I'm like, hey, man, I know you're the man, and I listen to you on all church. How about we sit this one out?
Yeah, stay in your lane.
I'm about to say.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah, it's a lot, because it's a lot easier just to roll in with troops, right? What do you object? Yeah. So like I said, you get in a position sometimes, just
Yeah, somebody points a rocket at the Vatican. I think we might have some different thoughts.
take a pass. Just take a pass on that. All right, everybody. You guys have a fantastic week. We're going to try to do the same. We'll get together next week, compare notes, and do it all over again. Hope you have a fantastic one. Be careful out there, everybody. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. So last week, after we finished setting up for the event, we always do like a little dinner and reception and stuff for the committee. So we're doing that, and they always dog me out for being old and stuff, like the people who work with me. And so this one girl's saying something, and she like leans into my ear to say it. And I said, girl, I'm not that deaf. Just give it a break. And then they give away a door prize to somebody, and I didn't understand what they said, and I wrote it down. The prize was a Lola blanket. Your wife probably knows what that is. Some super soft, very expensive blanket.
Okay.
And so I asked the same girl, I said, what did she win? And so she told me a Lola blanket. And I said, a rollerblade game?
A rollerblade game?
Yeah. So I said, yeah, there you go. 2 minutes ago, I told you I'm not deaf. To stop being rude, talking to me in my ear. Now I'm coming up with rollerblade games.
The Lola blanket, Pappy.
Lola blanket to a rollerblade game. Okay. Then I had one of the girls after we went out, had a couple of beers, and she had a few. And so she said, I'm not being unaccordingly, am I? I said, being what? And she said, unaccordingly? I said, well, I don't know if you're being unaccordingly, but I know that that's not a word. And she said, yes, it is. I said, it's not. And if it were, you're definitely using it the wrong way. And so we went back and forth. So now that was last week, and I've made at least, work that the word unaccordingly in at least 10 conversations.
Part of the vernacular now.
That's right. Now, you think it's a word, I'm going to make it a word.
That's when you tell them, this is where I wish I couldn't hear.
It's over. Go home.